The new Model Y. The new Model Y. Same, but different. Today, I'm gonna go over all the differences between the new Model Y and the old Model Y. And this isn't just a list. We're gonna do it the fun way. One thing everyone talks about is the ride quality. Sure, I can drive it around and tell you how I feel. Or I can show you. Haha! Oh, my new car! My goal is to have as much water left over as possible. So they improved the suspension. Based on, they also
I'm not used to regenerative braking, so sorry.
I definitely see a difference in ride quality in the new Model Y. Oh my, so cold. Turning, oh, not bad. Look at the water, very still too. Okay. Oh. That was smooth. Nice. I am wet. And look at my car. A little more than 2 quarts of water. My cup holders are disintegrating. Okay. Oh. So already I feel the bumpiness already, and you can see it. It's definitely bumpier, guys. Guys, it's definitely bumpier. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Oh God, dude, the speed bumps are not good on this thing. The water has now penetrated my private parts. Look at my cup holder. 1.5 quarts on my side. Definitely more water left over in the new Model Y. The brakes on the new Model Y feel so much firmer and stronger. The pedal alone is harder to press, making it much more sensitive than the older Model Y. With the regenerative braking test, it also seems like the motor slowed down the vehicle quicker than the old Model Y. However, the new Model Y has a new reduced deceleration option, making it feel almost like a gas car. But what about the physical differences? These is attached like this, so it's pretty flimsy. However, in the new one, look at how intricate this is. They had another mounting point here. It's painted the color. The new Model Y front has these holes here. No holes here, it's just clean, nothing here. The old Model Y frunk has the holes, but they covered it with plastic, but looks like they have more holes here, so more plastic covered there. They also completely redesigned this entire plastic piece, even the HEPA filter intake going up like this compared to the old one where it kind of goes flat. You also have the windshield washer fluid, much easier to access in the front compared to the old one where you have it all the way up here. Now this doesn't come with it, it's because I got this from Temu. Now from a glance, the new Model Y front looks bigger because it doesn't have these pieces sticking out, but let's see. Yippee! Surprisingly, it filled a whole bucket worth full of toys. Look at all these toys for you. Close test. Whoa. Closes. All right, let's see. No, don't jump on this. It's not PPF'd yet. Close test. Still closes though. Oh! So while it is, I think, almost the same size, I feel like this is a little bit more practical because it doesn't have these like pieces sticking out, which decreases some of the space. One thing I did wish was, why couldn't have they made an automatic frunk? I would have paid an extra like couple $100 for an automatic frunk. Ooh. Other differences, the tow eye hook is not on the floor of the frunk in the new Model Y, it's on the back part. And now this has a drain plug, but I'm curious to know how much water it can actually fill because there is an electrical light. So I don't think you can go that high. There's no like rubber gasket around it or anything like that. So the water cannot go above this. They're trying to make sure it reduces as much noise, improve aerodynamics as much as possible. Because look, the attention to detail here is insane. You have a raised lip, little holes here, so I think it's more for airflow. And you also have a big cutout for the hinge. Remember how we talked about how the hinge is different? Compared to the old side, you only get a small aero flap cover here and then no hinge, nothing. So that's crazy. You would think it would be very, very similar, but it's not. Now, one thing I noticed, the windshield wipers, the size might be the same, but look at this. You have this piece here, kind of circular, 2 tiny holes for the windshield washer fluid. If you come on the new Model Y, square shaped, it looks flush, it looks clean, 1 hole, provides just as much windshield washer fluid as before. Another thing I noticed on the new windshield wipers, you have these pipes here, each individual pipe. You have an individual pipe for one, individual pipe for one for the windshield washer fluid. In the old one, you just have 1 long pipe that goes to both. But I'm curious to know what's underneath the frunk. So already another new thing is there's a nice seal here for added waterproof protection and to make it much quieter. Because think about it, the wind is coming this way. This prevents all that. This one doesn't even have that. Nothing here. It does have the frunk seal, but that's about it. I've never done this before on this new car. Oops. Wow, they made it so much different than before. So much more stable. You have the drain plug here and you're thinking, where does the water go? Pretty much the water drops down here, goes onto the sides, onto underneath the car. So everything here is okay to get wet for the most part. I don't think this can get wet, but you can kind of see it's just meant to just slowly flow out and then go down here. So the new Model Y in the engine over here, 323 miles. The old Model Y, 311 miles. So even though the battery is the same, because of all the aerodynamic hidden changes, it's able to be more efficient, therefore increasing the range. But how much more efficient? Both Teslas are at 50%. The new Model Y is giving me 163 miles. The old Model Y is giving me 139 miles. That's surprising. I'm gonna blast the heater on both of these cars for 30 minutes. I'm curious to see who's gonna drain the most battery in my ultimate extreme heater test. Sentry mode is off on both of them as well. This one started much faster. So as far as efficiency goes, in order to heat up this car was a lot quicker than that car. Hear how quiet this one is? This one has a really loud buzzing sound. 3, 2, 1. 48%. This one is 47%, so lost 1%. But is there a difference in how accurate the Model Y's range estimate is? Both cars started at 47%. After a 25-minute drive, the new Model Y arrived at 43%, and the old Model Y dropped to 40%. So the new Model Y range was more accurate. And something I've always wondered, when the battery is 0%, does a newer Model Y have more reserve range? And if so, how much? 19, just hit 19. I'm still going, even though I'm like limited to like 15 miles per hour. Oh shoot. Okay, it's happening. I thought I was gonna hit 20, but I did not hit 20. Compared to the old Model Y that died at 9 miles. So now we arrived at a Tesla Supercharger. I'm gonna see which one charges faster. Both cars are at 36%. I got Everyday Jan here with me. We're gonna plug it in at the exact same time. The new Model Y Max charge rate was 177 kilowatts, whereas the old Model Y Max was 145. 11:02, she's at 50%. She beat me with a 2021 Tesla Model Y. I'm at 48%. 50%, 11:03, 1 minute. I did charge slower in my 2025 Tesla Model Y versus my 2021 Tesla Model Y. So we got the latest and greatest hardware 4 cameras in the brand new Tesla Model Y. We got the front-facing camera. It includes a washer for the front lens, which is nice. Look at the size of the hardware 4 cameras. It's like twice as big, has a red hue to it. Hardware 3 is so much smaller. It looks like a normal camera. And there's no front camera in the old Model Y. And just for fun, let's just see the differences between the older hardware 3 cameras using my eye exam test. Oh shoot, my testing apparatus. I can read it. ELTFPH. Now we're gonna do the rear camera. Oh yeah, I can see that. EHP7. I could definitely still see some stuff. Holy! I could see E and that's pretty much it. All right, now we're on hardware 3 and oh, it's surprisingly not too bad. Go back further. Okay, looks like a Chanel sign. That does not look like a Chanel sign. This test was kind of for fun because I was curious mostly because most of the time if you ever need the cameras, it's to see license plates, which is letters and numbers, which is gonna be even bigger. With the new Tesla Model Y, light bar. One light bar with the daytime running light, the signal light integrated into here. You have the daytime running light bar that spans all the way across here, and you have one piece here. So it's a 3-piece system. You have a daytime running light bar up here and an LED strip on the top part of the headlight. In the daytime running light area, you get the turn signal underneath the headlamp over here. And then we're gonna work our way down. We have fog lights and we have another daytime running light bar inside of that thing. Yellow, like safety lights here, and you have projector fog lights down here. With the new Model Y, they put the headlights lower this time. You have no yellow bulbs or anything like that inside of the yellow housing there. You do have a super big projector headlight here, and they have like a teeny tiny yellow light right here. I think by law in California especially, they have to have that yellow light compared to this one where it's just like a bunch of yellow lights scattered throughout that yellow piece there. So definitely more attention to detail. You can see the housing is completely different. It's all black. It has all these lines that go straight. Probably for their matrix LED capabilities, but overall that are the differences between the two. Both headlights are equally as bright and shine wide. There is slightly further distance on the old Model Y, but even though the old Model Y has fog lights, the new Model Y still seems brighter near the foreground. And both are compatible with adaptive high beams. But the old Model Y has horizontal matrix bars, while the new Model Y is vertical. But the old Model Y is the only one that can spell out the Tesla logo. Another difference is the diffuser that helps with aerodynamics. This one is like a hand size, not that big. The new Model Y, look how much bigger it is. Double hands. Also, I noticed the new model, the plastic lip extends so much farther out than the old model. You only have it on the bottom part and then you have the plastic bumper. But with this one, you get this extra piece here. So I feel like they really wanted to make sure if you do get into an accident or hit something small, it's much easier to repair, because it's much easier if you hit this plastic piece and fix this than this one, which is completely all attached. Cool. Maybe that'll lower insurance premiums. With the new Model Y, I get Model X vibes with the front bumper. Half circle shape here, whereas this one is just cut across completely straight. And I'm sure you guys know this, but the hood is completely different. This is like a giant square versus this side is just like more circular. So the old Model Y has much more curves, baby girl, than the more square shaped, straight edge new Model Y. In the old Model Y, if you wanted to tow, you would pop the cover on the right side. However, now it looks like they moved it to the left side for some reason. Not sure why they did that. Now, another thing I noticed is the speaker isn't as loud on the new Model Y versus the old Model Y. Even the speaker grill is different. We gotta test this bad boy. Let's check out the old one. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on. Now, these are the 19-inch wheels, so pretty much the same as the 19-inch Gemini wheels in the older Tesla Model Y. I thought they would update the tires, maybe make it a little different. It's the same. Same Continental Pro Contact RX tires. However, this time you have a different cover. So they completely redesigned the cover. Hard to take on and off, so I don't recommend taking it on and off constantly. However, the rims underneath looks super sexy. So to be honest, I might just take it off and put the covers on. But I don't know, what do you guys think? I like the look of the new aero covers. The side repeater camera housing is supposed to be redesigned so that the wind self-cleans the camera. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna go ahead and spray some water on here, turn on the hair dryer, and see if it self-cleans compared to the older Tesla Model Y. Because I feel like that might be a gimmick. On the new Model Y, the water droplets spun away from the camera in a circular fashion. Looks like it's actually deliberate, not just a gimmick. Next, the skull caps is what they call it, but the side mirrors, they have this lip here, and this is one of the reasons it's supposed to really help with the aerodynamics. Completely different and redesigned compared to the old Tesla Model Y, which is just lame and boring. Now, both are Tesla Saint-Gobain Skirt laminated windows. Feels the same, double pane, but this one, it's like a nice single piece compared to this one where it's like they just literally just glued two pieces of glass together. The new Model Y is supposed to have improved seals, improved glass, so it's supposed to be better for road noise so you don't hear it as much. But does it actually work, or is it just a gimmick? Let's find out. So with the old Model Y, 1.5 feet away, 55.3. So now we're in the new Model Y. 52.7. 2.5 dBs quieter in the new one because of their improved seals, dual laminate in the front and the rears. If you look at the seal, no holes or anything, it's just a normal seal. Oh, Civic cheap. That's not luxury. And it sounds so much better when it closes. Look at the new one. They have all these new seals they added and holes to make closing more nice. And I think a lot of people were complaining about that. When they're driving, they have a headache because they feel like a lot of pressure buildup. This is supposed to just help with the pressure buildup because there's little holes in here so it doesn't feel like you're suffocating inside your Tesla. Second row, one piece of glass. That's not luxury. 2 glasses, dual pane, laminated in the second row as well now. Everything on the side, minus a couple minor changes, seems the same until we get to the back, baby. Now already we have the charge port, boom. Shaped like a triangle. The old one, more subtle design. You also get a new light here on the side. That's cool. Now I do have aftermarket headlights on here. However, with the old ones, it's just like an LED light that goes across here. Now the light bar in the new Model Y is completely different. You get that new Model 3 Highland vibes with that over here, but you get this whole single piece diffused bar across the entire thing, and I love it because this exact same material is the exact same material in the dashboard of the new Model Y. And when you press on the brake pedal, the lights light up, turn signal, And then overall, it just looks so much nicer. It looks clean until we get to this random Prius looking weird thing right here. I don't know why it looks like that. There's just this huge empty space right here. And then you have your license plate all the way at the bottom. And one major difference is there's no reverse lights up here, like the old Model Y. You have the reverse lights all the way at the bottom over here. And that's not all. Because these headlights are actually attached to the hatch, when you open the hatch, you get these new emergency lights that come out here due to US regulations. And it is the same as the Model 3. Another thing, the rear camera is mounted all the way up here, which is nice because in case you get into an accident, it's probably just gonna hit the bottom part, not the top part. Look how high this plastic piece is compared to the body. Look at how low and small it is. Then you have the body. Then you have this piece. Everything they did on the new Y was on purpose because they knew that whenever you get into an accident, you hit something here, you have to replace this piece and then you only have to replace this small piece. Whereas if you hit someone on here, you have to replace this entire bumper here and including this piece as well. So they made it a lot better and I'll show you more stuff too. Like in the new Model Y, they added a new piece. So this is like the spoiler, but it's its own separate piece. The trunk pillar is right here. So you have 1, 2, and you have this quarter panel here, 3, the center, 4, and then plastic 5. Compared to this one, 1. This one attaches to this entire thing. So if you ever get into a small minor accident and you hit this, you're gonna have to replace the entire piece, which is a lot more work, a lot more labor. So in terms of time it takes to get repaired, this one will take much less time. Like honestly, this should be way cheaper insurance because of how much easier it is to repair. Now, remember when I was talking to you about the straight edges of the Model Y? Even though it looks similar, the rear hatch glass is different. See how it's just straight rectangle, cut off, and then half circle across, and then boom. Whereas in the old Model Y, it's just like a half circle. However, on the inside, it doesn't make too much difference. With the new Model Y, my hands are completely occupied. Hands-free. With the old Model Y,
a few moments later.
Can't do it. Now look at this huge difference with the old Model Y. I'm gonna open the trunk. Pay very careful attention to what happens. Shook a little bit. Came up and then came down a little bit. And you see how flimsy this is? That's because the old Model Y only uses one motor. So see how this one has power? Whereas this one is just like a free use thing to just hold it in place. Which is why when a lot of people took delivery of their Model Y, there was always trunk alignment issues with it opening and closing because the motor was improperly placed or it was too strong or too weak. So the new Model Y, we have power here on the left one and it's so much of a bigger spring than the old Model Y. You also have power on the right one now. Look at that. That makes it so the opening and closing of the Model Y trunk is so much smoother, quieter, and we don't have all these issues with the pillar. Oh. Wait, whoa. Can you back up? Does this seem higher to you? 74 inches. 2 inches higher, 76 inches. So this one is actually a little bit lower than the height of this trunk. So be careful if you open the garage door, this one's gonna be a little bit higher. See with the old one, you have the trunk hinge here and you have a bolt right here, right? With the new one, you have the trunk hinge, you have a cover now where that bolt's supposed to be, you have the hinge and then 2 bolts here. So it just looks so much more cleaner, more refined. And one of the biggest things with the new Model Y is how amazing the interior sounds and all the road noise and how quiet it is without being echoey. Old Model Y, there's plastic here. It's all hard plastic, you can kind of hear it. You have a piece of felt here, but all hard plastic. Coming over to the new Model Y, they did a great job. Like, where's the speakers? It's because it's integrated inside this entire piece. All lined with felt here. This is a soft material as well. So see how much more quieter it is? Because when sound bounces off of it, it gets absorbed by these pieces here. So a couple new things, and I didn't even see this. Also have a secondary mounting point right here. In the old one, here and then here, so 2. Whereas this one you have 1, 2, 3, so they added 1. So it closes better and it sits better. 2 things to mention about the light. The light in this one is smaller of a circle. They do have license plate lights at the bottom over here. So it's kind of nice. So you can kind of see the floor better if it is nighttime. On the old Model Y, the light is so much bigger, so you get more diffused light. Honestly, like twice as big. License plate lights are all the way up here. Another thing I noticed, to open the trunk, they put it in the center this time. And it's nice, it's like nice and wide, like a nice solid 3 finger widths compared to the old one where it's kind of weird. Now in the trunk of the new Model Y and the old Model Y, both 72 cubic feet of storage space. However, when I measured it, it seems like it's slightly bigger at the opening wise because it's 44 inches and then it goes to 45 all the way down until it hits 44 here. Whereas with the old one, we started off at 43 inches, 44, 45, and then it goes to 44. Now with the new Model Y, you have the same seal here. Because it's all redesigned, you have 2 grommets here to hold the trunk into place as well. Whereas the old one, you have this plastic piece and 1 grommet here, so a lot smaller. It doesn't extend all the way over here. Now before we even dive into the inside, I already noticed one thing. The height is higher than the old one, 24 inches. However, on the old Model Y, it's lower, 23, so 1 inch. So they raised this up a tiny bit in the new Model Y. And they did that for a reason, because what we talked about, to make repairing easier. So if you get hit, this whole piece can be repaired easily compared to this one, which just look how low this plastic piece is. And then this is the bumper. Something else I noticed, your cover over here has a little hook to it, so it's easier to open, and I love this hook. In the new Model Y, they completely removed it. They made this wider so it's easier to open and close, but it's completely removed now. This is all felt. And even this top part, which is supposed to be like a hard plastic, they lined it with a soft material, just like up here. So the sound dampens so much better. For reference, for the interior, I'm comparing it to a 2021 Tesla Model Y. I did do a video where I compared all the differences between a 2021 and a 2024 Tesla Model Y. So we got this cover here, boom! Now the size seems the same here, but you have this added option here. And this is where the parcel shelf goes, or I don't even know, maybe golf clubs can go here. Okay, now in the old one, we lift this up, and yeah, look at it. It's just as big, lots of space. Look at all the storage space we have. There is no difference in the sub trunk. The sidewalls are the same. The only difference is that they have a cutout here. So if I was to take my old Model Y cover, look at that. Perfect fit. Secondary sub-trunk area is all the exact same. Let's take a look at the second row. Now with the old Model Y, you have 2 switches to lower the seats. Ha! Just slam shut. With the right one, if the seat's too far back, look what happens. Oh, that's what happens. It just stays up like that. Now let me show you the new Model Y. So instead of 2 dedicated buttons, it's 1 button. And look, it is much slower to lower, I will say. And then look how cool this is. The passenger seat goes forward so that this can lower completely down. Crazy, and then it goes back. And unlike the other one where you want to bring it back up, you have to go to the second row and bring it back up. With this one, it just automatically does it. Cool! And not only that, if you wanted to lower the seats and kind of recline it back, it's on the side of the seat and it does it all mechanically. Look at that. That is sick. Now, one question I did have though is what if someone is in one of the seats? What's gonna happen to the seat trying to go down? Is it still gonna push that person forward? Go ahead and push it. Uh-oh. So it just stops, huh? That's pretty anticlimactic. I thought it would like launch me out into space or something. So now that the new Model Y has automatic seats, is it safer and less scary to put down? So I got this egg to test it. Okay, come on. It definitely smashed way harder. But what about the new Model Y? All right, so now in the new Tesla Model Y. Oh, it knew. So it actually stopped. It senses an object there and it knows to reverse in. Wow. Looks like the new Model Y, much safer. Passes the egg test. Now already some huge differences in the second row. It's like a new car. First, RGB lighting. You have some nice fabric material here. It's clean, it's nice, it looks beautiful. You still have that speaker grill, plastic speaker. However, everything else is just lined with carpet. Look at that. All lined with carpet here. Carpet, 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 everywhere, carpet, carpet. Even this side piece here in the center console is all lined with carpet. One thing I also noticed is the seats are wider. They just seem bigger here and they are perforated. Unfortunately, not cooled in the back. It is heated just like before. But when I get in, the back piece here is completely redesigned. So you can see that this is where the housing is for the brake light at the top. However, they cut it out farther back, and I'm glad they did that because whenever I was in the second row of the old Model Y, my hair and head would always touch. However, now that there's that cutout there, look, it's not touching because I have all that extra space. Another thing, this is touch sensitive now, so you could touch it and it makes it brighter and more dim or turns it off. So that's cool. Also, the whole glass piece has a different type of tint to it. They completely redesigned it, so it is a metal tint. So you'll see this line right here, and this is where the tint ends. Definitely in the new Model Y, the roof tint is so much better than the old Model Y. Because in the old Model Y, you sit in the car for like 5 minutes and you can already start feeling the heat on the top. I've been in here for a solid 5. I don't feel anything. Side window, not tinted, 85.6 degrees on the side window, 82.7. So we're in the old Model Y now. This is the factory tint, so it looks darker. However, even though it looks darker, I can already feel the heat, and I've only been here for less than a minute. I'm getting 94.6 in the side glass here. And this is with my Expel ceramic tint. On top, 90.3. That's a huge difference. That's another hidden change I didn't realize. I believe they improved the UV infrared rejection on the new Model Y glass, even in the front. So all the glass, I think they improved it overall. Another big difference is the seatbelt location on the new Model Y is located on the pillar right here. So that makes it easier in case you're moving the seats around. It's easier to get the buckle. Versus in the old Model Y, the seatbelt is all the way in the back, making it harder to grab. You also have this in the new Tesla Model Y, so you could kind of store stuff in here if you wanted to. Versus in the old Model Y, it's flat and doesn't expand. You have 2 USB-C ports, all redesigned here because now you have a screen. You can control the climate, move the seats forward and backwards. You can move the front seat forward. You can play games, listen to music, connect Bluetooth devices. There's so much stuff here and it's great for families back here. Versus in the old Model Y, there's no screen, just 2 USB-C ports and vents. Another hidden change with my old Model Y, the air duct was at a weird angle and just kind of shaped differently. They completely redesigned it. They raised this entire piece here. The hole is more straight, so if you ever do drop something in there, you can grab it easier, and it's just completely redesigned. It looks so much better. And now they finally changed it up, so if you do get locked out and you have to open the door in an emergency and the power dies or something, the emergency release is very easy to open this time. They have a nice little handle for the hook. You just pop it off. It even says this is what it's for. Huge yellow loop that you pull to get out and open. So Tesla definitely listens to feedback. Awesome. So is the heated steering wheel and heated seats warmer or cooler in the new Model Y? Around 80.9 degrees, so pretty warm. The steering wheel is giving me 84 degrees. Right now in the old Model Y only supports heated seats, so no cooled seats. In the new Model Y, we have the perforated seat, so it doesn't feel as warm, surprisingly. 80.7, so it is still pretty warm. With the steering wheel, 87.8. So the steering wheel is actually warmer in the new Tesla Model Y versus the old Tesla Model Y. The steering wheel is redesigned. It's similar to the Model 3 Highland Refresh. You have 2 little knobs here on the new Model Y, about the same size. You got a little V shape here cut out with that design. Windshield washer fluid button, windshield wiper button, high beam button. You have a front camera button, and of course your talk button. And to start autopilot, you press this button here. No gear stock here. However, they added a turn signal on this side, and it feels so good when you press it. Another difference is the sound system is completely different in the new Model Y. You have this beautiful metal grille here. They redesigned it, and it sounds beautiful. I'll also max out the bass for you guys. ...2021 Tesla Model Y sound system is just as good, if not the same, if you can tune it right, as the new Tesla Model Y. A little bit more rattling, a little bit more shaking in the old one. Tesla did an amazing job. And then part of that new sound system upgrade is that there used to be a tweeter that was here on the old Model Y. It's still there. They hid it and they covered it with felt so that it reflects less sound. When I put my ear up to it, you could definitely hear it. You also have a brand new dashboard, so it's not white anymore. You still have that same textile design that you see in the rear, and it just looks clean and it looks good. They also completely redesigned the front. You have the RGB lighting here. You also have a diagram that shows you where the manual door release is. So I could totally see that being confusing for people because they would open this instead of using this button. Everything else lined with carpet all around, and this is still, it's not hard, it's very soft. You still have the same cutout here for the wireless charging, and you have the Model 3 redesigned center console where it kind of splits open this way. The cup holders stay in place, but you do have double. And what's cool is a lot of people were complaining about the old Model Y scratches easily, so they put these little dots here, textured grip, so it doesn't scratch as easy. So I love that attention to detail. They really thought of a lot of stuff with the new Model Y. They also changed the placement of the 12-volt cigarette outlet. In the old one, it used to be right in here. Now there's like nothing. It's just a giant hole in one USB-C port. So they actually moved it to the center console right in here. The glove box is also much smaller in the new Model Y, which is kind of disappointing. There's also an added option. There's a blind spot indicator. So there's a red bulb in here and it blinks if someone's in your blind spot and you're trying to change lanes, which is awesome. I'm so glad they added that. Your sun visor is slightly redesigned. They redid this piece here. The old Model Y, there's a hole, whereas in the new one, there's no hole. Still slides out. This is the same, boom, magnetic, and it closes, looks beautiful. At the top now you have touch sensitive lights, so you can touch it and it gets brighter. You have 3 modes and you have your gear indicators here as well. Your manual gear indicators, because now you don't have a gear stock. The emergency lights are still here as well. Whereas the old Model Y has 2 gear stocks with a gear shifter. The screen is also less bezels, so it looks slightly bigger, even though it is the same size. So it just feels newer and better. Now, one crazy thing is the white interior. I love the white interior, but this piece is fabric. It gets dirty so fast. Look what they did finally. They made it black because they knew how dirty it gets. And it looks nice. So they made this black. Now we don't have to worry about keeping this clean because mine looks musty. The navigation girl sounds different too on this one.
500 feet, enter the roundabout and take the 3rd exit.
In 500 feet, enter the roundabout and take the 3rd exit.
So already one big difference is that the logo is different on the car here. It shows the full LED light bar. So that's the new Model Y, so that's cool. If you go to Dynamics, you can already see deceleration reduced or standard. They also have traction control mode, which is new. And because we don't have a gear stock, it has auto shift beta. Lights, we have the ambient lighting now, so we have RGB lighting. And what's cool is if you go to Mars mode, the lighting turns orange, and if you go to lights, it says Mars mode active. So the lights are all like this orange light. Well, that's really cool. Seats have more functions. You can now have child lock on here for the doors. You can fold the seats, you can bring it down, you can move this as well. Another interesting thing is now in the climate with the new Model Y, you have this new oscillation feature. It swings the fan direction all around, just like a fan oscillation, which is really cool and a great feature. I love that feature. To anyone saying there's not that many changes with the new Model Y versus the old Model Y, cap. It's like a brand new car. There's so many differences and changes that makes the new Model Y so much better than the old Model Y. If they started with this, I can't imagine the sales Tesla would have made, because this is the perfect car. Handling is perfect, suspension's great, feels great, good power, sound system's amazing, interior's quiet now, and it feels like a very well-refined vehicle. Sure, it charges 1 minute slower. It's still a super awesome vehicle to own, and I'm glad I got it. If you guys are interested, make sure you use my referral link for a discount. Thanks so much for watching, and see you guys next time.